was in here because I just started it. And I'm going to sleep because I'm sleepy as hell. Put that curtain up in the middle. Hey, Tasha. Okay, Chicago. This is BBW. Hey, girl. Good morning. I'm in Tulsa, Oklahoma right now. I don't know who else is in here. I'm gonna start this. I got some. It's a really to ask some questions. Hey, Truck and Trip Suri for what's up? Waiting for a few more people to come in, and if I don't know, I'll start the story because I'm people to watch it. So, does it sound messed up? I don't know. The sound's still messed up. Hey, Red Rose, let me know if the sound is still messed up. Because then that means I gotta go back to the box. Because it looks like I get better sound in the box. Alright, give me a minute. Y'all hold on. I always get better sound in the box. Hold on. I'm gonna put my curtain up. Hold on, y'all. I'm putting my curtain up. I got it up here. All right, come on back. All right, let me get some light. All right, what about now? How's the sound? Is it better? No, I'm in Tulsa. I hit weather. It's okay, sounds better. All right. So whatever in the front, because the people net is just over or something in the front of the truck. Because I'm right by the window in the front, but for whatever reason, you guys are better in the bunk. I don't know why. Y'all, I ain't getting naked, but I'm gonna be on my way to it because I'm about to get sleep. No, so coming out of where I pick up Indiana, picked up a chicken load, and they had fog and rain. I don't drive fast in wet slick conditions, and the fog was so thick. I have to put that picture up. I don't know if I'll do it on this video or the next video, but the fog was so thick. Well, it's self-upload, so I can't do anything other than thumbnails. But the fog was so thick that I actually had to slow down. So I was going between probably 45 and 55 miles an hour, if I was even able to hit 55.
Um, People was hauling, truckers hauling ass right past me, which amazes me. Well, no, it doesn't. But you can't see, and especially because I was driving nights, you can't see that far ahead of yourself if something happens. You just can't. Um, I saw one. There was one truck accident um, on the way out, and I forgot what the state highway was I was on. No, no, it was on interstate. I don't remember. But anyway, I made last night to, how far did I get? I made it to just outside of I made it to Illinois, and I was just like barely outside of Missouri. This morning when I got up, all the weather had cleared with the exception we now had. There was something pushing through, and they had winds up to 30, 40 miles an hour with 50 to 60 mile per hour gusts. I don't drive that fast either. Even though I'm loaded, I had like 42,000 pounds. And, there's truckers hauling ass past me. I don't drive that fast. My truck is like this, and when I'm getting pushed, no. And I also have super singles, which are they're more slip. They slide a lot more than duals. They don't have the same grip. So they don't have the same grip as duals. Um, so right now I'm in Tulsa. I'm a hop ski. I mean, I'm in Oklahoma, so Oklahoma in Texas. So low was supposed to be there this morning at 8. That ain't gonna happen. I'd already done an ETA, but what they did try to do was give me a beef load, and I had to call this new driver manager they gave me, and because I'm sure he knew, but I think they playing game because they know I'm bouncing, and so I said, look, I'm going to check on my dad, which is why you guys directed me back here, and I don't know if somebody didn't share that with you. Oh no, I didn't know there was no hometimers. It's not a hometown request; it's an emergency situation. I said that's why I was asking yesterday about Denton. Oh, I didn't know. I said yeah. He said, well, how many days you want? I said probably 2, maybe 3. He's like, oh, okay. So I'm gonna get all my stuff this weekend. I'll be on here cleaning this up. Denton is literally like 4 or 5 hours from Lubbock. I'll either catch a bus, or we got family members that'll come pick me up and take me to Lubbock, um, and go down there. Anyway, um, so with this video, I wanted to do real quick. I've had another question from someone, and then I had other people who have hit me up, and I did a little bit on this a while back. But because it was kind of complex, and they were asking in the background, I felt that it's something to mention here. So when I first came into the trucking industry, Trucker Bill is a brother, and Bill's like, what was Bill? Bill's 62, I'm 50, so he's 12 years older than me. Um, but Bill had said to me, coming in, he said, hey, we need more women. You guys helped change the game when we came into trucking. In a lot of ways, the truck stops changed, a lot of stuff changed. He said, we need more black people. We need more people of color in the industry. He said, in this industry, you will see kind of the truth of how America thinks. And I kind of looked at him like, because again, I come from a whole different world. I'm working. Even though I have family in transportation, my father was railroad. I have cousins in Flatbed. We never really talked about it. I would hear them talk about going to visit my dad out in Lubbock, but I never sat and talked to them. My father's side was a little more hood, right? And they don't have those kind of conversations. So when Bill told me that, I understand it now more than I did then. And don't get it twisted, just because I was in a corporate job does not mean that I was never discriminated against. I dealt with discrimination on a lot of levels. Um, I actually even got set up on a job, based on discriminatory stuff. So I know what happens in corporate America. That's why I didn't want to be an asshole with this lady, the black lady who was the driver manager, because I understand A, the dynamics of where she's at, and B, she's a woman and a sister. And I didn't want to screw her, but Unfortunately, either A, that's what you've been taught, or maybe that's what you think you need to do to prove yourself. You know, that's the part of me. That's probably why I don't do corporate America. I can't sell my soul like that. Um, but yesterday, I had gotten a question, and the person is working in a corporate or in an environment in trucking locally. They uh, have been put on notice regarding, I guess, some reporting from the truck. Another person, and they are African American, is female. Another person who is a white male got similar um, reportings. And I think if I understood, A, hers was publicly displayed. B, the way they handled was it was bad. So she asked me, what can I do about this? Do I have any recourse? From a corporate standpoint, yeah, she's got recourse. She could actually go if she can prove that she is being discriminated against or treated differently because of her gender and or her ethnicity, she could go EEOC. The problem when we do that, and let's just be real, is that you're gonna be retaliated against. If you don't believe me, right now, General Motors, if you guys don't know about this, kind of look it up. General Motors, which I was really shocked to hear about this. The first time I heard about it was that on talk radio? It was either on TV or talk radio. I can't remember. Serious. I listen to a channel called Urban View. If y'all haven't heard that channel, it's a great channel. Well, um, this sister or these guys, some guys working for General Motors, they started filing complaints with them, and I'm gonna bounce a little bit off of hers and come back. They file their grievances first through the company, which is what you're supposed to do. Even when you go to the EEOC, I had family work for them. Even when you go to the EEOC, they're going to ask you, did you reach out to your HR or somebody in leadership or management to tell them about the problem? And if so, what steps did they take, if any? When did you talk to them? What did you say to them? What was their response to you? Well, these gentlemen reached out because they have, in the era of little boy Trump, they have some of the Anglo folks, the white folks, have felt comfortable enough to leave nooses, I'm talking about hanging nooses, hanging up around the plant, to have other racially derogatory okay, so okay, Miss Tasha, you know what I'm talking about. I got you. Okay, I think you know what I'm talking about. So they had all this stuff. It's been on the news. It's actually now broken to major media. They complained to General Motors. General Motors didn't do anything. These white folks were so bold that some of them, even in meetings that were supposed to help the tour or was supposed to be put together, people in leadership was like, well, I think one of them was bold enough to say something about, I remember, I'm going to see if I can remember it. There was never a lynching. A good black person never was lynched. It was the bad black people that was lynched. Something of that effect. They've been putting up with this for a while. So I do know, I think the EEOC is stepping in. I don't know what other agencies. I believe these gentlemen have had to resign because they feel threatened from their job. And now it's on TV, and now General Motors has the nerve to get off their ass to do something about it. Yeah. And she brings fuel. If you No, you're being treated differently. You do have the right to go to an agency such as the EEOC. But if you do that, you also have to understand you are most likely, and I've had to use them before, you are most likely going to get retaliated against. The other problem is the EEOC is kind of, in my sense, toothless. I don't know how it is now with everything going on. They may be a little bit better, but you also understand it's a government agency. And while they are supposed to uphold the rights for you to have work and employment, to not be discriminated against, that ain't always the case. And the sad part is your first step is always supposed to be somebody at the company. So if you have a situation where you feel as if you're being targeted and or treated differently from Joe Bob, y'all got the same, you both messed up in the same area, let's say that. You got the same reporting, but they're taking it easier on Joe Bob, white Joe Bob, but then they put hanging you out to dry, and y'all got the same issue. That's discrimination. And if it's not handled the same way, there's a problem. I'm gonna give you a corporate example. I worked for a company, and a friend of mine, this is a good friend of mine, um, they had done like the old chain emails, and they had done a prayer email, and it was just Christian. And somebody printed out, was going to, hang it on their desk for motivation in the morning. Well, somebody got it and turned it in to management. They ended up writing all the Christian folks up, who all people who were part of the chain minute. They put them on like a final warning, very severe, very severe. My friend asked, she said, "You mean to tell me you don't?" She said, "I would have been okay if they said it wasn't supposed to happen. If it was just a verbal warning, which is really, it's just a smack on the hand. But a final warning means they could term you for any reason after that." So she asked them, and they said, "Oh, no, this is that severe." Well, she found out in the discussion with one of the salespeople working for Cellular One, which was a cellular company in Arizona. She found out from one of the salespeople they had a sexually explicit chain email. And all they got was a verbal warning, but the majority of the people who were involved in that were all white, where the majority of the people in the Christian email were predominantly black and Latino. She asked him for a copy of that and the correction that they got. He gave it to her. She took her happy butt down to EEOC, and I'm going to tell you, EEOC did end up in our building on several occasions because it was very blatant, the difference that was made. It was corrected, removed, but shortly there, she left not too long because no matter what, you're going to eventually, they're going to, in a roundabout way, they're going to try to get you back. They're not supposed to, but in most cases, they're going to try to get you back, especially if you're somebody who's not in a power position, not in a management position. And even in management, they might try to get you back. My brother, who's a general manager, he went to another hotel in Arizona before he went to the Texas one. And it wasn't a black thing. It was like he was from India. Some kind. He was making he was doing sexist stuff. He was making racial stuff. And my brother was going to have to go. And I told him, he's like, "Well, Shannon, do I go now?" I said, "Dude, you can go, but you need to make sure your money is right. Because trust me, some of these companies will try to pick you over if you go and report on them about their foul behavior." So you do have recourse on that level. In trucking, the unfortunate thing is, it's like Bill was trying to tell me, "Oh, call the safety department on these people." I'm not going, eventually they're going to retaliate. So I'm not going to go that path. Matter of fact, I don't trust that they might not go that path with me even requesting to go to a new driver manager, which is another reason why I'm doing, because based on some of the behaviors I've seen, and based on what I realized, they run their company micromanaging. the internal camera on a rock truck. You can't take your 35 reset. That shouldn't be said to a company driver, nor should it be said to an owner op, or at least purchase op. Too micromanaging for me, especially if I'm in a lease purchase role. If I got to put up with dumb stuff like that, I'm going to go to a company where I'm a company driver with no payments and no drama on that level. I might as well go back to being company, at least for a little bit. So you have to weigh out what you really are willing to tolerate with if you want to fight something. Otherwise, in this industry, my attitude is go find you another job. I'll be honest. I set my ass in the seat of this truck when I knew I was going to roll out. I made a phone call. One phone call. That phone call resulted in a person calling their company, an application being sent to my phone or two. I got the app. Took me a couple of minutes. I filled it out. I sent it. The next day, I talked to the person who sent me the application. She ran it while I was over the phone and told me whenever you're ready. A CDL is like a college degree. You can get a job. Okay? Plain and simple. And if a company, the best way I'm going to tell you, I would handle anything where I'm being mistreated at a company, especially in this industry. I want you to remember something. 200 plus thousand, and I'm thinking it's in the 300,000 range now. Driver shortage in America. There's a reason you're seeing all these foreign folks coming from other countries working in this industry. They can get a job. They might not be able to drive, but some of them can't, like that Nigerian chick. And I'm not knocking it. God bless them. They want to work. But their thought process is different for how we drive in America. 200 plus thousand driver shortage in America. Let me help you. You have a Class A or Class B CDL, you can get a job. So if a company does not appreciate you and you're trying to be safe, or if you've made some mistakes and they can't work with you or train you and they're going to be assholes, leave. If they're not maintaining their equipment and it puts you at safety, leave. And even though, like this company, $1 to $3 a mile, there's a reason. Companies are starting to throw money at people, and basically here's what they're saying. We want you to work for us. We don't want to change. So we're just going to give you some more money to put up with our shit. We have to want different for people to do different. And while money is a factor, we're going to tell you, oh, give me the money. And if you can keep bending me over and screwing me, putting my life in danger, putting the motor public in danger, because you won't fix your stuff, or you won't maintain your stuff, or the stuff you're putting on the road is dangerous, or you're requiring me to do dangerous stuff. But you here want to throw some money at me so I can be a little hoe? No. No, no, and more no. You gotta want better, and you gotta require better. I was talking to Jose JC Elect, and we talked about, he's like, money is what inspires him. It does partially inspire me, but it is not the whole 100%. Like I said, the way my debt right now, I don't have huge debt. I have debt, but it's debt I need to get rid of, old debt from back in the crash. But immediate debt, I don't have immediate debt. And so for me, what's important, yes, money is a factor, but treatment is another one. I want a certain level of treatment. I want a certain level of safety. If you're not rolling in those categories, I don't want to jack with you. And if you want to be discriminatory or treat me different, or 200,000 plus driver shortage in America, and I'm about to be 201 at your company because you've made choices. And that's fine. And I don't even fight with folks anymore. Just like these folks. Oh, okay. I need to get back home to check on my dad, which is true. I'm going to check on him. I always check on the grumpy Smurf. But I'm also going to take that opportunity to do this. I can't. I can't anymore. I can't play the game with people. And worst case scenario is funny because my dad just told me one of the ladies in his church, her sister is a truck driver. She's working for some over the road company. She just put all her stuff on her van, got her shit headed to Lubbock, and got on with some company there locally, and will be doing stuff right there out of Lubbock because she's tired of the over the road bullcrap. When you're out here like this, there's a certain level of treatment that you should get. If you're not getting that treatment, move on. This next move is my last trucking move. I'm gonna be honest. If that don't work, then I'm thinking about going to Greyhound because I can get people on my bus. I'll still be in transportation. I'll have just a route that I drive, and I'll be home more. I don't have the tolerance or the energy for. I love trucking. I like driving, and that's what's sad is that these companies, it's too much game. Just like they sent me that pre-plan yesterday, that was game. That's all game. The same way we went into orientation and you tell me 1,000, you give me a 900 and $100 gift card. It's game. Playing too many games and they got the nerve to throw money to you like you a hoe in the background. I'm not a stripper. And I would be horrible as one anyway. I'm fat as hell. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So if you do this job, you female, you black, whatever your status is, you might be older, you could be a white older person, whatever your status is, if they got the nerve, I'll do it in a minute. If they got the nerve to treat you differently, roll the hell out and go get you something else. I believe there are a few good trucking companies out there. Whatever you're in, doesn't matter whether it's dry van, doesn't matter whether it's reefer, doesn't matter whether it's tanker, doesn't matter whether it's oil field stuff. I believe you can find it. People may come to this company, it's a great fit. They've got a great reputation. Their reputation isn't bad. Some people love them because of the amount of money that's being thrown. So you just got to get on their page and play their game and shake your ass the way they want you to shake it. I'm not going to do that. Not as an owner op, not paying for a truck. And I also have to look at the big picture. I paid $760 a week for this truck. Let me show y'all. Turn this around. Okay. Y'all see that magnet up there? It's supposed to be right there. That's not even screwed in. Okay? Hold on. Y'all see all my sunflower seeds. Hold on. I don't know if you see this. There's a port right there. Let me do this. Let's see what it works. I'll show you what it does. So, here's the USB. Right? Right here. See that? The whole port just came out. The whole port got right. $760 a week. 2018 trip and it's falling apart. And I don't know if you can see this. Whoever had it before me was like they glued this. That's not lightweight, that's glue. Look, y'all can see that. See that shiny stuff? It's all across here. They had to glue this back in. And you can see right here where it's loose. Okay? This right here is the desk. Okay? This right here is the desk. Hold on, I'm going to pull this out as best I can. Y'all see that? That's separating. That should be separated. It's separated. Okay? Hold on. Okay, stay right there. Hold on. There we go. All right. There's no way, and I thought about it. I'm paying $760 a week for this. Then putting up with your shenanigans. It's not even the truck that I really want. Putting up with your shenanigans. And even though I've been making with them about $1,000 a week after the truck payment. You can make even more than that, depending on how hard and crazy you want to run. I'm happy with between 1,100 and 1,500 a week, but I can do that as a company driver. Okay, with no responsibilities, not paying my own health care, and my health care coming out, and another company taking care of that. And that's what the hell I'm gonna do. And the first thing I told the company that I talked to, I'm 50 years old. I'm not one who likes to recap hours. I'm gonna do 34-hour resets. That's when I do my laundry, I straighten my truck, I take a day of rest from working 70 hours. To me, that makes me a safer driver. That's really, to me, why they put the 34-hour reset in there. If you want to recap because you're chasing money, go for it. That's not my thing. I'm too old for that. And I don't like games. I don't. They still trying to play games. This new guy, he seems nice, and maybe he didn't know. I'm gonna go ahead and give him benefit of the doubt. But I mentioned going to Denton to you the day before, so you didn't ask no questions. So to me, you knew about it. So why are you sending me a new load going to Dodge to pick up beef out of Texas when I told you I needed to get to Denton? And you told me after this load delivers to go ahead and head directly to Denton. I'm just saying. Let me see what y'all comments are. Okay, she brings, how hard is it to set your CDLs for a while when jump back into trucking? I'm not understanding. What do you mean set it up? What do you mean? You mean to let it sit? Or I'm not understanding. All right. Yeah, Chicago, you understand what I mean now, right? Are you saying like how to let it sit while you're doing other stuff? Is that what you're talking about, She Brings? I think that's what you're talking about. So I was off the road for 5 years, and I kept my CDL active. So you can keep your CDL. Sorry, you can keep your CDL active as long as you do your DOT. And I missed my DOT physicals a couple times. They said before you get your license will end up cancel. Um, you could be, but you're gonna have to just go out with a. If you out too long, then you have to go out with like a trainer for a refresher course. In most cases, unless you probably go for a private company or a small company or work for like a owner op. But I was out of the industry for 5 years, and then I just had to come back out to a starter company, and I stayed with the starter company a lot longer than what I intended. But I did like the driver manager lady, so yeah. No, to take a break, I get it. Trust me, I get it. Because you will get burnt out on some of the game in this was what burns people out. That's the sad part about it. Some people like doing this. They like driving. They like the peace of it. All right, Chicago. They like the peace of it, but it burns them out. Next thing you know, they don't just leave the industry to go to another job or leave the industry to go into, go to maybe rig for a tanker. They just leave the industry altogether and go get another job. And they're like, they don't have the tolerance for the bull crap. And it gets like that because I've even second guessed, like, should I just go back into corporate America if I got to put up with all the drama? I hate corporate America too. It's a whole nother issue in corporate America. So I get it. I do get it. Okay. I know it's not a lot of us in here right now. Any other questions? Because I am getting ready to pass the hell out. Because I've been up since 4 o'clock yesterday, or 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. Because I'm getting ready to pass out. Because I got to drive this in once I wake up, and I'm done. Yeah, she brings. Thank you. Yeah, y'all. If anybody watches this later, most people have been in here before. If anybody watches this later, go ahead, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and hit the bell to get the reminders. Give it a thumbs up. I've been doing more lives lately, and I'll probably do more lives once I switch gears. And we're working towards getting that other phone taken care of too. Um, so hopefully, by the time I get to the other place and that money starts rolling in, I should have that phone up in about a month. But yeah, please give me thumbs up, like, subscribe. If you guys got questions, feel free. Like she brings, get me up behind the scene. Y'all hit me up behind the scene, and I'll try to answer questions. I ain't gonna tell you I'm no expert. I know some people get on here expert. I'm gonna come with how I feel about a situation. I'll always tell you I ain't Jesus, but I'm gonna come and tell you what I feel. And there's a reason somebody put on there. I told the truth about the company, so I think they guessed the company I'm with. Currently, I tell what I experience. That's one of the reasons why I try not to give the names, because then you have to kind of skip around and skip to Malou about stuff. And I don't like skipping to Malou. I want you to understand the truth about it. You know, people go to certain starter companies. You tell me in the background, I'm gonna tell you this is what you're gonna experience. That, or I've actually been to two different ones. I'm gonna tell you my experience. Now, one of them might been in a long time, so it could operate differently. But I'll tell you my experience. I'll tell you some experiences with the people I know. Um, the one that I just left, they got equipment issues on the reefer side. And Larry Smith can attest to that because we got to talking. And the person who actually did her refresher trainer, I guess, has left the reefer division, still with the same company, but went over to the dry box van because things were so bad. So, and not that it's a bad company, they got some financial stuff going on. But because of that, it puts you, to me, in a safety detrimental situation. And it messes with your money because if the stuff ain't broken and you driving broken equipment, you unsafe. And if you report it, you're safe, but then you're not making no money. Or your loads are going to get taken off of you because somebody else is going to drive them, and you're going to get burnt out dealing with the bull crap because you're sitting there waiting for repairs. I'm done. I can't, that made me done with it. There's aspects that I used to like about it because they were very organized. Organizing the shoes, they're going to go ahead and either rebook that load, or they're going to say, we're going to T-call it, get it as far as you can, and we'll have somebody. It was not this trying to trick you into driving in the snow and doing all sorts of crazy shenanigans. It wasn't none of that. So it's a game I don't play, and it's something that if I was going to do something like that, I need to go work for Saya. And Saya and them tell you straight up, you're going to chain. We want the load to get through. Chain it to get through. Well, they're paying up to $100,000 a year, and you can choose whether that's something you want to do for up to that $100,000 a year. But they're paying you the kind of money that you make the choice to make that risk. You may not. You want to, anyway, y'all. I gotta get some sleep. Y'all got any questions? Put them below. Hit me up on Trucker, and then if you have to, just instant message me, and we'll go from there. My sister is sending me messages right now for the daily devotional, which I'm going to do before I go to sleep. God bless. Be safe. 2 and 2. I'm almost to Texas, and when I get home, y'all will see me in Grumpy Smart.